Hey, Rebel Bankers, this is your host, Chris Noggle, and welcome to the show. I've got a great person on here today. So, the guest that we have on isn't your typical guest that you'd get on the Real Estate Money School. The guest we have today, Ben Precious from Pace Social Media, is a marketing genius. When I say that, what do I mean by that? I mean top 15 marketing companies there are. Now, you might not pull together what this podcast is about with marketing, but it has everything to do with marketing. Real estate has everything to do with marketing, and so does money. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about what Ben's doing right now. We're going to talk about an event that's going on in a bit over a month from today that's literally going to blow people's minds. So that's what we're going to spend the time doing, is talking about this event. We're going to talk about Ben and marketing. And that's I think, going to wrap the show up today. And you guys are going to be blown away at what you learn about. So thanks for joining us, Ben. And if you could, just tell everybody a little bit about who you are and what you're doing right now.
Yeah, sure, man. So thanks for the intro. So like Chris said, I run one of the top 15 marketing companies in LA. I've been doing that for about 2.5 years now. I've just been building it up over that time. We've worked with some, big name clients from Guinness to Caddy, just to name a couple. Fashion Nova is another big one. And at the moment, really this event, which we'll get onto and explain, I'm going to tell you guys about, it's kind of our main focus right now. So I'm really, working on this event, trying to pull it together, work with people like Chris to pull it off. Then yeah, my marketing company is doing a lot of the operational side of things and obviously marketing in it. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's fantastic. All right. So all of you that are watching right now, we're always talking about your journey to, your journey in real estate, your journey to becoming a rebel banker, and that big barrier being money. Money's always that barrier that gets everybody caught up. They think they got to have all this money before they take action, or you got to wait for something to happen in your life so that you have the money to do that. You know what the most important thing every single person needs to understand is you got to take action. You got to make it happen, and you got to take that leap. And that's where it's all going to start. And you know what? One of the biggest things I think you should all be looking into is the Impact Players Tour, which is an event that's going on here June 24th. And the event is literally going to be exactly what you need. If you're thinking about different steps on how to build your business, grow your business, or you're just getting started, this event and the speakers at this event are literally going to be what you need. So Ben, let's dive right into the event, because that's, I think, one of the most exciting things going on this year. Let's talk about it and about how you got involved in it, what you're doing, and what this event's going to be all about.
Yeah, totally, man. So I guess I'll take you from the start with how I got involved. So there's a guy called Joel Gonzalez. He's kind of the guy behind this whole thing. It was, his idea. And I met that guy at the 10X Growth Conference too, the one that was in Las Vegas that Grant did. Yeah, so I met him there, and we kind of got connected and started working together. I did some marketing for him and built him a website, worked with some of his, business partners and whatnot. So I guess we just got close in the sense of, being business partners. And then he told me about this idea where he wanted to basically bring Grant to Arizona. And Joel is one of the top sales guys in Arizona in the car industry, right? And obviously that's where Grant got his come up, which was in, car sales and all that good stuff. And from what Joel's told me, Grant really got his whole come up, and he got started in, places like Arizona, doing the whole car sale thing, running seminars, events, and all that good stuff. So Joel's been following him for a good while now, and it's been one of his things, kind of bring him back to AZ and, do an event with him. So he told me about the idea. We then formulated a few things, came up with the name, the branding. And we've been working on this thing for like a solid year now. And we did have a different date for it originally planned, but then we ended up, sorting some stuff out, and it's just landed on July 24th this year. So, basically with all that stuff, like I say, we've just been building it up to this point, and we're getting pretty close now. So that's kind of how I got involved. And that's another thing, this is an event. And we're really kind of hitting home the networking side of things, because I know it's been so powerful for me. And like this whole event has come out of me just networking at other events, right? So that's something we're really kind of going for, is like the opportunity that can come out of networking with people at events. So I've kind of tailored this event, towards that. There's a whole kind of thing with the lunch break is very tailored towards networking. We have sponsors and various events set up for that. There's a whole after party thing set up. So after the event, it's just purely networking. So yeah, that's kind of how I got involved. It's just to tell you a little bit about it. It's a 1 day event, but it's a full day. It's going to be a pretty long day. So we're looking at like a 9 a.m. start, going to run it right through until about 8 p.m. There's a handful of different speakers covering all kinds of different areas. Obviously, yourself, you're in real estate. We got another guy, Chris Rude. He's also in real estate. Grant Cardone, again, in a big way in real estate. Myself, I'll be talking about marketing and some stuff like that. And I think kind of what separates us from, other conferences is we have some other speakers. I mean, sales is another big area, obviously, but a lot of the speakers we have, there's a guy called Joseph Lane, right? And it's even in the title of the event, Impact Players. And what we really want to kind of hit home is how can you make an impact with, whether it's your business, what are you doing and stuff like that. So rather than it just being specifically about, how can you make as much money as possible and then just learning set strategies, we want to kind of teach people how can you make like a fulfilling impact with what you're doing with your business and all that good stuff. And, whatever that means to you might be different, but that's kind of our goal with this whole thing.
Well, I think you said a couple of unique things there, Ben. First off,
Sure.
the 10X Growth Conference 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
That's where you met Joel. Well, what you might not know is that's where I met Joel as well. So
There you go.
talk about networking, right? You talk about how
Mm-hmm.
to change your life, how to get your life and the fast track and get wherever you want to be. It's all about networking because your network's always equal your net worth. And one of the things that, I've done, and I'm sure you have too, is I've gone to follow successful people around, Grant Cardone being one of them.
Sure.
And I follow them around, not just because I want to hear what they have to say, but their audience, the people that are following them are like just like us. So by going to the Growth Conference 2, you met Joel. By connecting with Joel and networking with Joel, you now have put on, what this year could be one of the biggest conferences of the year. Grant Cardone and Elena Cardone speaking, you're speaking. There's some power hitters, myself, Brent Kessler speaking on money. I mean, it's such a diverse group of speakers at this event that no matter what somebody's in, if they want to learn about sales, they're going to be fulfilled. If they want to learn about real estate, they're going to be blown away. If they want to learn about how money really works and where all the money exists for all the deals that they'll ever want to do, or let's talk cars. If they want to learn about how to get all the money back for all the cars they're ever going to buy, drive, and own, they're going to learn that at this event. I mean, I don't think I've ever been to an event where there's been such a dynamic group of speakers. Usually it's like all real estate speakers, all sales speakers.
Right.
This is probably the most dynamic speaker lineup that I've ever seen. And anybody that's watching this podcast needs to remember that this is where you're going to make those connections that will change your life. Those connections that will catapult your business to the next level. Just like, Joel met you and you helped him catapult this event off the ground, which at that time, just an idea, probably just an idea on a piece of paper.
Exactly.
So unbelievably crazy about what's going on here and with this event. And I mean, we can keep coming back and saying, hey, just come and see Grant Cardone and Elena Cardone. I mean, that's the big draw. I mean, how often in your life are you going to be able to see them in an intimate setting and in an intimate event like this? And, Ben, I'd like you to talk a little bit about some of the ways people can come to this event and what they can get out of it. Because I know there's a VIP offering that's pretty crazy. The general admission seats are very, very affordable and have access to just a lot. So I could talk all day about this because I'm obviously fired up. But tell everybody a bit about like what they can expect and what they can do and how they can get involved.
Sure. So I guess I'll start with the venue itself, which is pretty cool. So it's at the Renaissance Hotel in Glendale. So, basically in the terms of the venue, it has everything we need and you guys need. Accommodation, there's restaurants in the area, which we're also using for networking purposes too. But yeah, to run you through the tickets, we've got general admission, executive, and VIP. And just to run that through, general admission starts at $295. You got executive at $645, and VIP is $995. So price rise, it's a good range. It's very affordable. And then obviously there's different things included in each. So general admission is your usual kind of full day access. You get the general seating. Executive, we're including a merchandise bag. There's access to one of our networking lunches. Then obviously you get priority seating with that too. And then VIP, the coolest thing in that is we have a private VIP setting and networking area specifically for people with that ticket. We've also got, you've also got access to networking with the speakers themselves, which is pretty huge. Then we're also offering a meet and greet with Grant and Elena Cardone themselves, which will be taking place in the VIP setting too. So each ticket's kind of got their own thing. I'd strongly recommend going for VIP. It's where you're going to see the most value, and it's a great price too. But if you just want to come along and check it out, Gemini Mission is still great. You're going to be able to sit, watch the speakers, get a lot of value. But I would say if this is, if you've been to multiple events in the past, then, go for that executive or VIP and just, kind of get the full experience out of it. And all those tickets, we actually just dropped the prices maybe a couple days back now. So this is like our set price. It won't be going any lower than this. So if you guys want to pick one up, we're looking to sell this thing out pretty quick. So that's what's on offer.
This event will sell out because it's such an intimate setting. And, very first 10X, did you go to the first 10X Grant put on?
So I didn't go to the first one. I had a lot of friends who did. And I got to be honest, because, I haven't been in the whole entrepreneur space too long. It was maybe, just a tad early for me to be going for that one. Otherwise, I went to the second one and I've been to the third one, which was obviously just in Miami.
Sure. So the first one, and it's me and Chris Rude, because we're pretty close. We talk about this a lot. Mm-hmm. First Grant Cardone event. I don't even know if there's a true word I can use for it, but magical.
Right.
It was probably the single best event I've ever been to in my life. It was the best event. Wow. Because the speakers were good, Les Brown, Grant, all the speakers were amazing. Yeah. What made that event so unbelievably special is it was intimate and the networking opportunities. I've still doing business with people that I met at that first 10X event, and it's never going to stop. It's just going to keep going.
Right.
This event, the Impact Players Tour, is going to be exactly that. It might be that tenfold. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be incredibly valuable for every single person that goes there. And, whether they do the general admission tickets or they do the executive with the networking lunch, which I believe we're sponsoring that. So it's going to be all money. You're going to learn about where it is, how it works. I mean, things you've never heard, the secrets of the wealthy, you're going to learn at that networking event. And if you're looking for money, holy crap, what better place to be than a networking event that's all about money. You want money? Well, that's where it's going to be. There's going to be a lot of money at this event. And then the VIP, I mean, not just the setting, but the networking with speakers. How many events have you been where you've actually been able to network and talk with the speakers? Usually they're just ushered out the back and that's it. You don't have any exposure.
Yeah, that's it. They're usually very hard to get to. I know from past events I've been to, it's a case of you see them on the stage and then that's about it. So with this event, we're kind of almost opening the back doors, if you like, because obviously speakers have a lot of opportunities to, hand out, and they're very open to kind of taking on new business. And again, the whole networking side of it, right? So yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. So if anybody, hears about this event and they're just trying to find a reason to go, I don't quite understand that. If you're trying to find a reason to go to this, and if this doesn't get you over that finish line, I mean, first you got Grant Cardone and Elena Cardone. I mean, come on, I shouldn't say anything else, and nor should you, right? We should just be like, hey, it's sold out. As soon as it hit, it's sold. Yeah, it should have been done. But then you put all these dynamic speakers speaking on different topics so that no matter what you're in, if you're in auto, if you're in car sales, if you're in real estate, if you need money to fund your business operations, all the money back for all the cars you buy, drive, and own. I mean, it just doesn't matter. There's something for everybody. And your marketing tips, because I'll tell you something right now, and this, but a lot of my audience might not. I don't care if you're in real estate. I don't care if you're in the business of money or looking for money. Marketing is where it starts. And that's your specialty. 100%. You didn't get the top 15 marketing companies in LA just from sitting back and doing nothing. No, you had to get out there. Right. How did you do it? How did you get to top 15? We're going to just segue away from Impact Players Tour for a second. Talk a little bit about how you did that.
Sure. So it's almost a mental decision to kind of place yourself, within the top 10, top 15, top 20, whatever it is. So really what it was, so I started the marketing company from scratch. It was literally just me in the start. Then it was just, the usual case of put in the hard work, put in the time, build it up. Then I got it to a certain point where, I got a handful of clients, things are rolling. And then at that point, it was a case of, I remember I rebranded everything, did a brand new website. And I literally just, before it was even a reality, made the decision of I'm in the top 10, right? Or the top 15. And then from there, it was, like I say, I branded it that way. I made it look like a big marketing company just by branding it. And that's a huge thing too. It's all about how you put yourself out there. So like I say, branded it, got the website, really showcased a lot of things, results, clients I've worked with, put that out there. And then, like I said, it was just a case of I positioned myself like I'm in the top 15. And then it was just a case of I got ranked on Google. Then a bunch of other companies, like listing companies and publications, just started, noticing the moves we were making, and then just literally took us and put us in those official top 15 lists. So to be honest, it was actually just a mental decision on my part to know that I'm good enough and that, I am in the top 15, and that's just that. And I just stuck with that until it was a reality. And I think that's the case with a lot of the things. It's very mental. Let's say with real estate, you want to get to, let's say, 1,000 units, right? It is almost just a mental decision to say I'm gonna or I'm not gonna. It's the same thing with this. I know I got a good product. It's a great company. We have some of the best services out there and bring some of the best results. So I know I can be in the top 15. So I'm just going to start saying I am until these guys put me in the lists. Like, that was literally it.
That key word right there, I am. Those two words
Right.
together are so unbelievably
Yeah.
powerful. You put that out in the universe and you keep putting that out there, and it happens. And look, it happened for you. And for anyone
Exactly.
watching this podcast and this episode, because this is a very unique episode. I mean, you need to start saying that. I am going to. I am doing this. Not even going to. I am. And then that's whatever you want to be. You are doing that. Not you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Have is now. And same thing with Impact Players Tour. Are you going to wait and sit there and wait till it's sold out and then say, oh boy, I should have done that, I should have taken it and bought my ticket? Why would you ever do that? Why wouldn't you just get your ticket, then start saying, I can't wait to go. I am going to make connections. I am going to find money. I am going to excel my business. I am going to be top 15, whatever it is. You just got to take action and make it happen, just like you did. I mean, the other thing too, and we talked offline just a little bit.
Sure.
But about kind of your goals after this event and after we kind of get through this, because this is a heavy lift for you. This is a massive event. So you mentioned that you're maybe thinking about getting into real estate. So mind talking?
Absolutely. Yeah, sure. So real estate has always been a very interesting space to me, especially with just following Grant Cardone naturally and learning a lot of his stuff. He's the guy that always says, learn real estate and you'll be set. So I've always known it's a great space. I've never dove into it, like deep, but I've always made sure I've had like a baseline of knowledge there, so that when the time comes, I've got some experience in that sense, or at least a good amount of knowledge. So I haven't really dove into it just yet. There's a few things that are floating around to get into, but yeah, like I said to you offline, like probably towards the end of the year, it's going to make a lot of sense for me. Just because at the moment I'm very tied up with my own company and then running this event. So by the end of the year, and I've got some game plans of my company, which will probably ease things up for me anyway. So like I say, yeah, but by the end of the year, it's going to make a lot of sense for me to probably take the step into real estate and start building that side of things up. And obviously the whole passive income side of it's very appealing. Just building that, second, or even whether it's a mainstream or a second stream is another thing, but just building that stream up of, another income stream and just another area. So it's an area I'm interested in. It's just about, when's the right time to kind of jump into it.
Well, you know the answer now, but well.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Impact Players Tour, so that's the thing. The other thing that you really know, and I've been in real estate a long time, since 2006, is your experience with marketing and everything you're doing and the doors you're opening and the people you're connecting with through what you're doing now are literally going to pave the way for you getting into real estate. It's going to make it so easy for you to find money. It's going to make it easy for you to meet the people that will get you to that next level. You don't know it yet, but it's going to literally be a very easy transition for you. So let's jump back into the Impact Players Tour. Let's just talk a little bit more about that, and we'll kind of wrap, talking about the event. So what else can you tell my audience about this? And, we kind of hit it all, but let's just really dive into like one or two key things to make this event the event of the year, I guess is the way to put it.
Sure. So I really do think the networking side of it's huge. There's going to be 2,000 attendees. So again, it's a nice number of people that I don't feel it's too small or too big. Again, I've been to events in the past where you've got just thousands of people and it's almost too much. And then there's other events where, the group's too small and maybe it's not as you know, the kind of atmosphere is not quite there. So I feel like 2,000 people is kind of a sweet spot. So that's what we've set it at. The venue supports that perfectly. Again, networking side of it's huge. We have a whole lunch thing going on that you're sponsoring one of the events. And the way that's going to work is, so when the lunch break comes around, we're looking at around an hour and a half to 2 hours for lunch. And literally it's about like a 2-minute walk, not even that, outside the venue. There's some restaurants who've signed on as sponsors, and those guys are going to be hosting networking events, right? So obviously you're sponsoring one, my company has one, and each of these networking events are in different areas. So we've got the real estate one, there's a marketing one, there's a sales one. I believe there's one for also like specifically people in car sales too. Then there might be a couple others. But the cool thing about that is, you know, let's say you're in real estate and you want to go network with more real estate people, then boom, just go ahead, get the ticket to that one. Then obviously if you get executive or VIP, the tickets to those networking lunches are included. Whereas if you go general admission, it's just a small fee to get into them. So you still have access to it. So that's kind of, you know, a pretty cool and unique networking thing we're doing. Then once that wraps up, obviously once the event's done, we have a whole bunch of after party stuff and just a huge kind of networking thing afterwards. So if you want to stick around, there's that whole thing where everyone's going to be there and it'll just be a case of, you know, who do you meet? Then on the flip side, just in the terms of an event, I know I briefly touched on this, but it is really like, you know, the impact side of it. And that's, I think, where like some people maybe get lost in the kind of case of just chasing money and kind of going in circles and not getting too much fulfillment out of what they're doing. So a lot of the speakers are going to be talking about that and how you can actually make an impact in your industry, business, and life with, you know, some of the actions you take. And that's going to mean different things to certain people, whether that's been able to help your family or support a charity more so. It all means different things, but we're just kind of hitting that home on how do you make an impact, right? And be an impact player, if you like, in that sense. So that's like our main goal and kind of mission. And then I suppose the last thing that makes us unique is obviously in the title, it says Impact Players Tour. So implying that we want to do more than one of these things.
Absolutely.
So the first one's going to be in Arizona. The second one, we're looking to do, I mean, there's no set number. We're going to keep going as long as we can. I'm almost kind of franchise this thing, if you like, and just keep, you know, knocking them out and providing as much value. Mainly across the kind of the west side of the country. That's not an area that Grant tends to touch too much. So LA, obviously Arizona, places like that. So the second event, we're currently looking at Vegas as our second venue.
Yeah, because why not? You gotta hit Vegas.
You got to do it. You got to do it at some point. So Vegas is looking like the second spot, which will be fun. I can't say too much about it right now, but there's going to be some pretty cool speakers at that one, which we already have not, you know, all lined up. So yeah, like I say, Impact Players Tour. We want to just kind of tour this thing around the west side of the country and just keep it going.
I love it. And for all of you listening to this, the Impact Players Tour, I mean, if this didn't get you fired up, I mean, I'm already fired up. I was fired up before the call,
There you go.
before the podcast. Now I'm even more fired up. But for all of you wondering when this is actually happening, July 24th, and it's going to be an all-day event. So make sure you fly in the day early and stay a day late because you're going to want to take advantage of everything that you can get out of that. And I'm just as excited as every single one of you watching. So Ben, if they want to get signed up and they want to jump on these tickets before it's sold out, whether it be the general admission, the executive, or the VIP, how do they go about doing that?
Absolutely. So our website is impactplayerstour.com. Like Chris said, we'll drop all this stuff in the descriptions too, so you have it. It's a simple case of go to the website, scroll down a little bit. We have a section that lays all our tickets out. All you got to do is hit buy now. You're going to be taken to an Eventbrite page. And it's just a simple case of checkout, choose your tickets, how many you want. Once you check out, you'll be sent a confirmation email. Then it's, you know, a case of sit back and wait for this thing to roll around.
Awesome. I love it. So there you guys have it. Let's do this. Let's all meet up in Arizona. Let's do some networking. Let's change the trajectory of your business and your life. And let's do it at one event, the Impact Players Tour. Ben, thank you so much for joining us on today's podcast. We're going to get rushed out so that this can get out to as many people because I don't want anyone to miss out on this opportunity. You know, the thing I always say is, and I talk about this from stage all the time, my buddy Thomas Edison said this. He said, most people miss out on an opportunity because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like work. Okay, I don't know how much work you think it is to click a button and buy your tickets, but it doesn't take you very long, and I know your phone can do it. So if that's what you're going to do, if you don't want to miss this opportunity, the time is right now. As soon as you hear this, click the link, get your tickets, and let's go out and change things. And this is going to be the first one. I wish I could tell you what it was like to go to Grant Cardone's first 10X. It was a life-changing event for me and so many other people. This will be that life-changing event. So make it happen. And Ben already told you plenty about it. So with that being said,
Absolutely.
yeah, we're going to wrap this podcast episode. So for all of you Rebel bankers, get started, take action now, and let's meet up out there in Arizona and get you started on your way to finding more money for all of the deals that you're looking to do, and it's going to happen. So thank you for joining us on the Real Estate Money School. We'll see you in Arizona. Thanks, Ben.
You got it. Thanks for having me.